the built-up mechanisms that we have to protect what we know is there, but what we might not be able to access. Let's just have a moment just to really check into our bodies. So if you can sit as comfortably as you possibly can, even amongst any discomforts, and just start to close your eyes. Take a really nourishing deep breath. And start to generate a sense of your body and what's there. Generating a sense of what's holding your body. Sensing the energy around you. And sensing what it's like to be in connection through this platform. Just observing. And anything that you can notice in this moment. Approaching it from as though you're watching a movie. So you're completely passively observing. And what you might start to notice is the mind coming in with some resistance. And if that's the case, just make a note of it. And it's your choice to attach to that resistance and expand the thought. Or take a deep breath and come back to what you can experience within the body. Maybe there's a discomfort that's stirring. Maybe there's an emotion. Maybe there's both. Letting your awareness just gently explore where your body might be calling your mind's attention towards. Noticing the smaller sensations, the subtle sensations of tingling, warmth, aches. Notice any holding patterns, like where your body, particularly around your jaw, your shoulders, lower back. Just become aware of what is there for you to experience in this direct moment. Notice how you respond. That might be really difficult to do, and that's okay. Wherever you are, start to deepen your breathing, making your inhales as full as possible, making your exhales as long as possible. Meeting this moment in stillness and gently breathing fully in, fully out. And if it feels good for you, place your hands on the part of your body that you feel would need your hands the most. Where would feel most comforting for you? And then feel the interaction between the part of your body you've chosen to put your hands on. Does your hand feel warm? Does it feel cold? What response does the rest of your body have? Free of distractions. And it's you and your body. Send a little message of thanks to yourself for being here, the willingness to learn and to keep finding your way. And then gently start to open the eyes and have a look all around the room where you are. Have a look in detail, but still maintaining the connection you've got to your body. Honoring any emotions that are there. Just letting yourself feel exactly as you do, however that is. Consider, you might want to write this down. Like, when was the first time you experienced an accident, an injury, or pain in your body? What happened and how old were you? What else was going on? What else was happening at that specific time of your life? Well done for seeing it that way. I know it's very challenging, and coming into this life faced with challenges from a very young age that we have been set to overcome. I think it's absolutely vital to have the connection to the body as part of it. What I'm directly seeing in the field right now is the link towards childhood experiences, the ways that we have put on these roles to be loved, we've adjusted ourselves to be accepted and not rejected, and therefore we've exposed ourselves to be manipulated and controlled because we are confused about who we really are and where we actually are allowed to be ourselves. That then interlinks with addictions and other ways of covering up the pain, because where's the outlet? And it's so confusing and so painful. And yes, if you couldn't trust your parents, who can you trust? There's so much to be able to navigate through, and that is the challenge to be overcome. Like all the challenges, every story, there is peace to be found amongst that. I literally have gone from questioning whether I want to be here, whether I can be here anymore, to finding peace and genuinely loving my life. The fear trap, however the mind responds to pain, is exposing how the mind shows up and resists all of life and blocks that flow. So, by the pain being here, it's actually such a vital component to make us go in and discover is the underlying root of this. And the mind can't work that out. Our minds can go back to the stories, regurgitate these memories, say how bad it was and how painful it was, and absolutely it was. But the body remembers everything. And the body, what I also notice in sessions, there's a lot of memories or processing that comes through that haven't even been remembered. For example, somebody realized that they were terrified of going to sleep at night because they had a fear of witches. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that that's come through because I'd totally forgotten about that. But it was such a big thing that disrupted sleep. By literally journeying with the body. And this process takes time to uncover, because the mind's stories and the mind's patterns of protection from that young age, and to build safety and trust within the body, takes time. It's becoming clearer and clearer from doing this work over a longer period of time, like how the mind resists the body, exposes the fears, and shows where the mind and the body are disconnected. And whilst that safety is being built, and the undoing and the not needing to change anything gives more and more insight to to the softening and the coming out of the survival. And what is held in the body is attracting the vibration of that fear. So things that keep on repeating. So for example, I had a knee injury when I was 14, which totally changed my life. Then I had a few more serious injuries, which made me go onto this path. Last summer, my knee re-injured playing football. Because I have this perspective now, the timing of when this happened rerouted every single story from when I was 14 again. So when I was 14, I was really struggling because my parents had split up and my dad married this lady who was so horrible to me and my brother. And all I wanted was my dad's attention. My brother and I weren't welcome into the house. Anyway, last summer when my knee re-injured, it was literally the week on my brother's anniversary of where he passed away. So the grief was there of that. My dad messaged me to say that he would split up from his wife. And my mum was on holiday and I said, "Oh, can I come and visit you for the day, which was the anniversary of my brother's passing?" And she said no. So it was all these stories that were so prevalently there from when I first did the injury when I was 14. And so everything I knew about the mind and body connection was amplified from that experience of the injury reoccurring. So life has sent me on humongous, like life training courses through my body, which have made me 1,000,000% clear on every challenge of this life can be overcome if it's met with love, no matter what. Like making peace, dissolving where the fears are and catching those fears. Because our fears, like the mind, is as clever as the mind. But it might not necessarily be the feelings that you fear that will show up. It's like a constant watch over your shoulder for, can I trust myself? Can I go into these situations? Can I do this in case that happens? And all these ways that we try and sort of control and manage it. But literally, the body is making it so clear that there's something that wants to be addressed here. So it's like there's no avoiding it. Like until you come into the body in the energy, the mind thinks, oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to feel those feelings. They're too overwhelming. The body is actually in a place of safety, which is a built up process. Then the feelings might not necessarily be of real intense pain and sadness. It might be the body doing a release by itself, literally trembling, and literally the stories dissolve in when there isn't a fear of what the body's doing. So it's not actually about cracking through a particular story and reframing it. It's what's the body doing as a representation of that story energetically, allows the transmutation, the release of it, because that's literally the body releasing that story, that frequency, that held emotion there. It's like a completely different perspective that the mind has, that the body teaches you. And so, therefore, the letting go of the stories untangles. I 1,000,000% believe that it's possible. And it's, every story that we acquire, like I thought at one point in my life, I thought I was too messed up, that there would just be no way through anything. There's such a search when you're in pain, you're in discomfort, and you've got all these childhood traumas. It's like, where do you go? You listen to all these things and you think, oh, okay, well, actually, that person said that and that makes sense. So then I'm going to adopt that story. None of these stories might be true. And actually, it's coming in to all right, here I am meeting everything exactly as it is and undoing, filtering through all these adopted stories. You know, what we were told as children, adopted stories. Children should be seen and not heard, like, oh, you're too much. You know, whatever it is where we're not accepted, it's allowing that the nervous system to regulate, the inner child to be held, the awareness of learning what love is through the body and what senses come back to life throughout the confusion of the ways that we've had to adapt. And when we make the connection to ourselves to find the clarity and the trust of ourselves first, so having that somewhere that you can go to where you imprint what it is like to fully be accepted as you, however it shows up, so that you can gain your own trust to then discern between who lifts you up and allows you to feel safe and who actually takes you away and adds to your fear. To go from literally questioning my life in constant pain all day, every day, childhood traumas like losing my brother to suicide because life was that uncomfortable for us when we were children, and to find peace in my body now where I wake up and I'm excited and I absolutely love to inspire and show other people the way. Like I'm a living, breathing evidence of what is possible. And I'm so, so deeply passionate about it. But it is through the body. And initially, I create that safety so that people can find their breakthroughs within their body and it's them doing it themselves. And then it is the integration of applying that in your life with other people, because other people are going to show you where your shadows are. Other people show you
Yeah.
where you're uncomfortable. And so we need those people. We separate ourselves to keep ourselves safe, to try and not be triggered because of all the overwhelm that's already there. But actually, we all have this longing for togetherness and to be accepted and to be loved. If we could do it by ourselves, well, we'd have already done it, wouldn't we?